Hi all, Yankee farm wife here. Just want to do a quick thank you before we start for your donations from the Amazon wish list. It's amazing. We've never felt so like rich ever. We have, when we need like clips, we have clips. And the miracle collar, that was actually the best thing. There's such a pain. We have to have one for Star because he's such a terrible cribber, and he's just about to finish killing the collar he has on. So next week we get to put a new miracle collar on. All of it has been just amazing. We're grateful every single day. So thank you so very much. And now, well, that was a painfully boring debate. I fell asleep multiple times and closed the iPad 45 minutes into it, and I had to catch up the next day when I dozed off yet again in broad daylight. Condescension never gets interesting, boys. It's right up there with mansplaining, because then there was this.
Thank you, Governor. And just to clarify for our viewers, Springfield, Ohio does have a large number of Haitian migrants who have legal status, temporary protected status.
Well, Margaret, but
thank you, Senator. We have so much to get to.
Margaret, I think it's important because
we're going to turn out of the economy. Thank you.
Margaret, the rules were that you guys weren't going to fact check, and since you're fact checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on. So there's an application called the CBP One app, where you can go on as an illegal migrant, apply for asylum or apply for parole, and be granted legal status at the wave of a Kamala Harris open border wand. That is not a person coming in, applying for a green card and waiting for 10 years. That is the facilitation of illegal immigration, Margaret, by our own leadership.
Thank you, Senator, for describing the legal process. We have so much to get to, Senator.
Those laws have been on the books since 1990.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The CBP One app has not been on the books since 1990. It's something that Kamala Harris created, Margaret.
Gentlemen, the audience can't hear you because your mics are cut. We have so much we want to get to. Thank you for explaining the legal process. Nora.
Thank you, Margaret.
Sorry. Thank you for mansplaining the legal process. Really, we appreciate it. We're going to skip right over that nonsense and go right to the shiny new legal brief that Jack Smith just filed. And I want to get this out before I even start. Full disclosure. If I wasn't married to my husband, I'd have my eye on him. I love a resourceful man, one who can clean a dozen stalls before 8 a.m. and then solve a client's financial problem while sitting in a pickup truck in the driveway, and then dig out the lid to the septic tank before heading inside and buttoning a white Oxford over his work shirt for a Zoom board meeting, and no one suspects that his jeans have mud encrusted on the hem. Now that's hot. Other women may fantasize about Thor or Magic Mike, but for me, it's Jack Smith. Jack worked his ass off building his election interference campaign against Donald Trump. And at the last minute, the Supreme Stooges spanked him with a ruling that gave the President of the United States leeway to commit crimes as part of their official duties. Welcome to the United Banana Republic. So they killed Jack's case, effectively left him with 2 legs and an arm shackled to a chair. But did he whine and tweet and blame and use words like disgrace and witch hunt? He did not. Oh no, our Mr. Smith buckled down and got right back to work, reframing all that incredibly damning evidence against Donnie's crimes as having been done as part of a campaign, not as part of his presidential duties. Revealed 1 month before the election. Woof. Talk about an October surprise. Now, if that man can cook, I would not turn down having a cup of coffee with him. Nor would I turn down coffee with Tim Walz, a man who can negotiate a union strike in the morning, scoop the South long before lunch, make a hot dish and an apple pie for dinner, and change a tire on the John Deere before bed. You know, if he would only show up here on goat worming and hoof trimming day. And then by contrast, there's JD. Heaven help me.
Hey guys, JD Vance here, playing a little buck hunter before a rally in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, also known as the closest Tim Walz has ever gotten to real combat. Have fun out there.
Ooh. Oh, God. What is that, JD? What is that supposed to be? Who are you trying to appeal to? Dude, all I have are words like inane and, again, Boring. You also never saw combat. You served as a military journalist. Your combat skills were limited to using a phone and a laptop. Was that condescending from above or condescending from below? I can't decide. I just know I wouldn't trust you to show up with a dozen donuts for dessert, never mind as a video game partner. By the way, if I were your wife, I'd have concerns. Watching your relationship blossom with Donald has been like a Meg Ryan movie. Boy meets boy, boy and boy have mutual hatred. Hatred turns to sparks. Sparks turn to bromance. Next thing you know.
We've always had a good chemistry, and originally JD was probably not for me, but he didn't know me. And then when we got to know each other, he liked me maybe more than anybody liked me, and he would stick up for me, and he'd fight for the worker as much as I fight for the worker. We just had an automatic chemistry.
I know. Watching them make goo-goo eyes at each other was probably enough. I apologize, but definitely trouble in paradise on all fronts.
In her new memoir, Melania Trump reportedly makes a pretty strong case for women's reproductive rights. This is according to excerpts that The Guardian got a hold of, where the former First Lady writes, and I'm quoting her now, "It is imperative to guarantee that women have autonomy in deciding their preference of having children based on their own conviction, free from any intervention or pressure from the government." Her full-throated support for abortion rights is notable, given her husband's 3 picks for the Supreme Court are the reason Roe v. Wade was overturned, and leaving some states to ban or severely restrict access to that procedure overall.
Thank you, Melania. My opinion of you has just done a total 180 today. Now, gentlemen, it seems you're having trouble controlling the ladies. That is not a good sign. There's a much higher percentage of women registered to vote than there is men. Mansplain that to me. Go ahead, but do it quickly. There's barely a month left before the election. Debates be damned. I think most women will go with the man who can bring a hot dish to the table, as well as common sense and political acumen, and along with advice and support for the woman who will be running the country. Thank you from the Yankee Farm Wife and Company. I love you. Oh, and if you haven't gotten your shirt yet, this one was the one from Red Buttons?
Redbubble.
This one was the one from Redbubble, but they gotta move the print up just about 2 inches. But yeah, these are the shirts, and they wash out real well. I can tell you that already. All right, guys. Mwah.